Okay, guys. Let's quickly jump on the chat. I don't want to waste much of our time. I have somewhere to go. Don't mind my background noise. I'm in my school environment, like I said. So let's quickly look at BTC what we have said so far from the past, and how it has really affected the market or played out. Okay, now from the past analysis I did, I'll delete everything and restart. From the past analysis I did, I recall we discussed the monthly structure and the weekly structure on BTC USDT, where I said for BTC to still stay bullish from the monthly time frame, it has to maintain above the structure, which was around December. Yeah, that was one of the video I did. So, but unfortunately, market did not maintain above the structure. Market breaks below it in January, meaning that the market is now trading below the structure, which now officially bring us to a downward trend, because as of then, the daily was already in a downward trend. It was just left for the weekly and the monthly to switch to a downward trend for us to conclude that every single time frame on the bigger side time frame or bigger picture are now officially in a downward trend. So, but like I said, if you look at it, you see that. Let me back play this market so that you understand. Ouch. Sorry. You see, so when we're around somewhere around here, the daily was already in a downward trend. H4 and every other time frame was already in a downward trend. As you can see, the daily time frame was trending downward already. We had this higher low here, and the market broke below that higher low, which is a sign that the trend has changed. Now we started putting downward, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So now when we reach here on the weekly, this was the last higher low on the weekly, which needs to be violated before we say weekly has joined the daily on the same trend, because daily is in a downward trend, but as far as weekly is concerned, it's in an upward trend because this is the last higher low here. So now, then we had to wait and see what happened to this higher low. Unfortunately, the higher low did not hold, because if it had held, if this higher low had hold, it would have taken the market to create a new higher high. That's when we say higher low has hold. So now, if you check what happened next, the market violated the higher low. It actually shows a sign of strength, trying to probably maintain this higher low, but no, the market later turned off and take out the higher low. Meanwhile, exactly where this higher low is, that is exactly where you have our weekly, monthly structure, which also tells us that once market starts trading below the structure, we have switched from the monthly also to a downward trend. So officially, the market did that in January. And that's how I knew that, okay, now we are now in a downward trend. Totally, we are now in a downward trend. Totally. Okay. So for you to now conclude that we are back to an upward trend, please note that BTC has to climb above the structure again and start trading above the structure before you say we are now in an upward trend, which is something like this. Okay. So once BTC close above here, you wait for a retest above it and then you buy. But for now, stop trying to catch BTC at a sniper entry. Stop trying to catch BTC at a sniper entry, because we are currently in a downward trend, and the rule has remained, has always been buy, buy in an upward trend and sell in a downward trend, trade with the trend, right? So now we are officially in a downward trend, both monthly, weekly. So immediately we had this break on January. That was when I was like, okay, now since market has break below the structure, we apply the rules of breakout and retest. That market will likely come back to retest the broken structure before bouncing to the downward side. And I think that's exactly what happened. Watch. In February, sorry, after the January candle closed, now look at how the retest came by. So it was this retest that made a lot of persons feel like, okay, man, we are going up, we are going up. No, you shouldn't. I did not conclude anything. You didn't see me post a buy signal here, right? So I only said we should buy around $33,000. That was when the market dumped in January. Which, if you had bought at $33,000, you would have made profit from $33,000 to this place, and you should have closed 35%. Because if you have saw the next video after I said we should buy from 33,000, you should know that, okay, this structure is likely going to hold the market. If you have not closed by now, perhaps maybe you set your stop loss at break even. So if market comes back to 33K, you get kicked out without profit, without loss. Okay, now this is a pullback. So for us to say this market has switched back to an upward trend, it needs to climb above this structure and then start trading above it for us to say we are now going up. So, but it did not happen like that. This pullback, this structure hold, which is a breakout and retest to the structure, and the structure is what is currently maintaining the market downward, guys. Now, imagine month is about to close. The monthly candle is about to close very soon, like a few days from now. The monthly candle will close, and once this monthly candle close bearish, it is a sign of weakness also. Now, for the past 3 months, Bitcoin has been dropping. For the past 3 months, 1, 2, 3. This one will make it 4 months. So, which is a sign that the bulls are very weak and the bears are very strong. And telling us that we'll still go down more because, like I said, it's a breakout and retest to create a new lower low. So if you check on the weekly, that's when it will become very sure. Now remember what I said. I said when a lower high is taken out, when a lower high is taken, a higher low. This is the last higher low on the weekly. When the higher low is taken out, it is the first sign that the market is about to change the trend. To conclusively say the trend has changed, you have to have a pullback and a drop that will create a fresh lower low. So currently, this place we usually call here a low. If you watch my last video, you should be asking questions. This is called a low. This is just a low, not a lower low yet. This is just a low. This is just a low. Now, we need this market to create a lower low for us to now totally and officially say that we are in a downward trend. That is, if this weekly candle close somewhere below here, anything below this low, once this weekly candle close anything below this low, we are now officially in a downward trend. We are now officially in a downward trend. Then we can label that side. Let's say the weekly candle. I'm expecting the weekly candle to close around 31K or 33. Let's just say $32,000. That's why I'm expecting the weekly candle to close at. Then we'll now have a lower low. Then we can now officially be done with this whole bulls and bear thing that we are now in a bear market. We are going down. We are seeking as far as $20,000. It's funny, but it's true. It's funny, but it's true, guys. Okay, so now I am still in watch of the market. I'm still watching the market in terms of the weekly. I just need this weekly candle to close to conclude my next expectational buyers on the market. And my expectation or prediction is that the weekly candle is going to close below this lower high, which is it's going to close below our last lower high. Let's zoom in very well. Our last lower high. Remember, I mark my structure based on candle bodies. I don't use wick. That's why you are not seeing me putting it here. I use body of candle. So this is our last low. Sorry. So I need market is already trading below our last low. I just need it to maintain this below and close below it. Somewhere anything below 34K is okay for me to say now we are going down, down, down. So now from the liquidity perspective, if you look at this zone here, this is a very valid liquidity. What do we call liquidity? I keep explaining this over and over again. Because the market has been bouncing off this support level over and over and over and over again, a lot of traders are going to believe that this support is going to hold by the time the market peers down now. No, we are trying to create a new lower low. So by the time the market creates a new lower low downward to this side and tap into this support again, a lot of traders are going to think of buying here because it is a valid support. Now, wherever there is a valid support lies liquidity, because a lot of traders in the world will be buying from that aspect and from that zone, and there will not be much liquidity for the people that are buying. What I mean is that if you are buying, there should be somebody selling to you. So if everybody in the world is now buying, who will sell to them? That is where liquidity comes in. And liquidity comes in the aspect of the market makers are going to have to provide liquidity. That's why you don't just tell me crypto is decentralized. It's not. There are people that have to regulate the pricing in this market. Okay? People that regulate the pricing in this market, because without them, there will not be enough liquidity for us to buy or for us to sell. So when market gets to somewhere around here, because this place is a very valid support that a lot of persons is going to be buying, the market has to give them reasons. The market has to give some of these people that are going to be buying reasons to sell. And the only way market can convince you to sell at this place is by piercing below this place like this, so that your cock head will say this is a breakout, and then you start selling. Once you start selling, the market will spike back up. So this is why we are expecting the market to tap into this region, but not just tap into this region. Upon tapping into this region, it will liquidate this region before spiking upward. And the spike might be very, very sharp, something very deep, as far as 20K. Let me zoom in my chart. Now, I'm expecting a spike as far as up to this candle here, because that candle is a demand candle, which is somewhere around 20K19. Right. So this is what I'm expecting on BTC USDT. So perhaps we are still waiting as far as my monthly and weekly chart is concerned. I'm waiting for the weekly candle to close. That will be on Sunday. I'm going to make another video to check. If I remember, though I'm very busy this era, I'm going to make another video to checkmate what happened on the weekly. Okay, how did we later arrive after what I said here? This is for the weekly, and this is what I'm expecting. As far as the weekly close below this low here, which is 36,000 by on Sunday. If you see market below 36k, let's say you see market at 34, 33k, just understand that first we are going down as far as 30k, and after touching 30k, we are not just going to respect 30k as a support, we are going to pierce below 30k because the liquidity there is so much for me to believe the market is just going to bounce up from here. I just can't accept that. Trust me. Okay, a few months from now will determine if I'm saying the truth or not. Okay, so that's done for the weekly. Now let's check on the daily, which reason why I usually trade daily and 4 hours time frame are for day traders, where you can make sharp profit, 10%, 50% profit from. Okay, because even while we're expecting all these dips, you can still make money as a spot trader because there are little pullbacks that you can make money from. So now when you go to the daily time frame, you officially know that the daily time frame is in a downward trend. Now, I was expecting market to obey this order block on the daily time frame, which I drew before, this valid order block. But what happened? Upon reaching the valid order block, the market bounced off with a sharp move to the upward side of about 7%. Like I said, you can still be making small money if you know what you are doing. About 7%, and later came back to pierce below it, creating a new order block. Now, what I'm expecting from the daily is for market to come back and tap into this order block that was violated, which is now like a flip zone. I don't want to go in details in that because that's like my strategy solely for my students. So which is now like a flip zone. So the market is probably going to come back to this order block again, right? Before we had that press to the downward side. So this can happen between now and on Sunday. Okay, this is what I'm expecting from the daily. So for spot traders, when you see market retesting 37k again, that is a good entry point. You sell at $37,000, and then your stop loss at, then you'll say stop loss at around 9% stop loss, then target that kind $28 and $28,000 or so. Yeah, that's 23% profit. Or you can reduce your, I think the stop loss is too big. You can reduce our stop loss to as far as this, which is 7%. So I can use 7% to be targeting 23% profit. Okay, this was futures trader that can trade sell on BTC USDT. Okay, so that is for the daily time frame. If you check on H4, you can see that the retest is already ongoing. So if you check on H4, that will probably give birth to a refinement of this other block I marked by bringing it here. So our entry will probably around here. If you are dealing with H4, entry will be around here. I would like to put my stop loss above this place, above here, which is quite okay. 40,679 stop loss. Entry at 37,700, and take profit as far as below as you can. In fact, if your market is approaching take profit at $29,000, you can even reduce the trade profit and take it downward again and go break even. So this particular retest right now might just get spiked off around the 50% Fibonacci level also. All I'm trying to do here is applying different strategy to look for possible reversal key points. Okay, the 50% Fibonacci level or 61%, which is our golden ratio level, can also spike the market down from here. Okay, I'm sorry my video look more, not much professional. I'm in a hurry. I just had to do this. But if I leave this chart right now, I will not. Can you see that 30k? If you obey that Fibonacci level, it will take market to 30k, which 30k is around that liquidity level. So because the liquidity level will probably make the market liquidate the traders, that will take us to somewhere around $27,000, 20k. It's not funny because it's going to affect a lot of prices, but I am just saying what I'm seeing based on my strategy as a technical analyst, technically. So don't get it twisted, guys. I officially sign out from here. Thank you. My name is Pat the Analyst. Sorry I did not introduce myself. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like I said, once I'm done with my exams, I'll be fully back on chart. I'll be analyzing coins. I'll be giving entry free of charge on this YouTube channel. That should be in March. April, sorry. I'll be done with my exam in March. Okay? Sorry this video is not professional. Like I said, I'm in a hurry. But I think you learn something from this and you get a takeaway from this.